everyone. All right, so I'm coming to you from the future. The next clip of me is when I'm not lit, and then we'll go back to me being lit. I'm always lit, but you know, better lit by a ring light. Guys, this is a total stream of consciousness when I'm chatting. I just want to give you a heads up. This is basically the transportation video. This is me on trains and buses. There are no planes. I will get plane footage next time, I guess. I don't know. I've got some cool footage of me, but I was trying to get, it just didn't turn out. So we're not going to do it today. Anyway, I want to give you a heads up. Obviously, still very much stream of consciousness for what's getting played here. But it's how do I got it around Japan to actually do the fabric shopping from Narita Airport through to basically leaving and some footage in between. I do have a nice long video, actually. That's what it was. Okay, so I did say in the very last clip, I'm like, what will be next week? And next week I am going to post the full-length video of me riding the Nex back from Narita on the Sunday when I go to drop off the bags at the airport. And I will post that both as the full video and a shortened quick video as well, just so that you can watch either, depending on what kind of time commitment you have. The actual full-length video I think is actually fairly chill, which would be probably nice to put on in the background. And of course, I really appreciate all your views. If you're not subscribed, please click the like, subscribe, and share buttons. Share these videos with the friends that may enjoy them. Again, this is the transportation video. We will be back to sewing videos very soon, but I want to show you guys what goes into actually getting these fabrics in Japan, because it's not just heading to Japan and buying them, and then all the work here to actually like sew them as well. But this is actually a big part of it, and I really enjoy it, but it is a lot of work. So I'll give you a rundown on kind of what ends up happening while I'm over there. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy, and I will chat with you next week. Thanks so much. Bye. Hi everyone, I am coming to you today to chat about the clips that are in this week's video. I am very strategically placed so that you can't see the mess in my basement. But the clips do need a little bit more explanation because I was going through and I was like adding titles to them, and I'm like, well, that's kind of boring. I may as well talk about them. So the first clip is actually me going from Narita, the airport that you fly into typically for Tokyo. It's probably the one that most people know. There's actually two. There is Narita and there's Haneda, but I always fly into Narita because the access into Tokyo itself is really good. So what happens is that when I flew into Tokyo this trip, I then actually took the Nex. It's a high-speed train from the airport into the city. And then I switched, not at Tokyo Station, but at Shinagawa, it's called. It's a much easier transfer than trying to get through Tokyo Station with bags and everything like that. So I did the next to Shinagawa, and then, so that's what that clip is. It was really dark when I landed. I forgot how dark Tokyo and like Japan was and how early it got dark. This was like 6:48. I got on the 6:48 Nex and it was pitch black. Now I understand that it's pitch black here in Canada in November at that time too, but my goodness, guys, it was so dark, and it was also raining, so that's why that clip is so short. So there's that clip, and then the next clip you'll see of me is actually on the Nex. It's called the Nex because it's the Narita Express. That's the shortened name is Nex, and that's me standing there with my luggage waiting to actually get off of the train to transfer at Shinagawa.
東京を出ますと、次は品川に停車いたします。本日は JR 東日本成田エクスプレスをご利用くださいまして誠にありがとうございました。またのご利用をお待ち申し上げております。
Ladies and gentlemen, we will soon make a brief stop at Tokyo Station, TYO. This train will stop at basement level 5.
All right, so I've lit up myself with the ring light because I saw that the last clip was really kind of dark. I'm actually standing on at my stock drawers right now with all of the rest of the studio behind me, but this seemed like the best place to kind of get the right level and to get this recording done. Anyway, so the next clip is actually of Kyoto Station. It's the central entrance exit. It's probably what most people know. You actually exit out of this location for most of the JR lines and also to the bus loop as well. It's where you exit for Kyoto Tower, Yodobashi Camera, a bunch of other things as well. My hotel is actually a 4-minute walk from that exit. I think it's north. I'm not 100% sure anymore. I'd have to actually look at the map. But I think from the map orientation, it was north. Anyway, it's probably what most people know of it. It's a pan around, and then it's the bullet train from Kyoto Station into Shinosaka. The bullet trains are all included with the JR pass, which is why I use them. Otherwise, I would be using local lines because they are significantly cheaper. And honestly, if you catch them right, the same amount of time to get to your location. For me, it was cheaper and easier to do the train for the Shinkansen into Osaka because it's just like I was right at Kyoto Station, could just get on a bullet train and get into Osaka. Otherwise, like I said, I'd be using local lines. Some of the local lines are like Keihan, which is the line that I used to use when I was on exchange. There's also the Hankyu line, which is mostly a subway line in Kyoto, and then there's a couple other. Actually, I think the Hankyu runs into Osaka as well because there was a stop at Umeda in Osaka. And but JR actually does do a lot of servicing of the Osaka area. There's a JR loop line, but you can't use the JR pass on the subway or any other private rail lines. The JR lines are basically the government subsidized lines in Japan, and so that's why you can get the JR pass when you're a tourist there as well. So yeah, so the pan of the station is the central entrance exit of Kyoto Station, and then the next clip is the Shinkansen or the bullet train from Kyoto into Shinosaka. So that's the countryside that you see. Obviously, it's not like it's running through the most convenient area for a high-speed rail line, so it's not necessarily the best countryside to see, but it's some of the countryside. So enjoy, and I'll come back to you and give you some context on the next clip. All right, so the next clip is actually a Kyoto city bus. It's not very often that I end up taking buses in Japan because the train system there is actually so good. But I had to take a bus this time because I went up to Kitano Tenmangu, which is a shrine and temple, up quite a ways actually away from the hotel, considering all things considered, for the flea market because that's where I picked up the new charms from Day Day House, Natsumi. Which if you watched the video last week, you saw the clip of her booth. That was actually at the flea market or secondhand market, antique market. It's a bunch of different things. Flea market is the best catch-all term for it. It's also where I ended up picking up a lot of the obi and kimono for new projects this year. I'm super excited. And that's typically where I do end up picking up a lot of those obi and such as well is at the flea markets. Because they are all secondhand. Most of the time it feels like it's estate sale items. Lots of them are in wearable condition, lots of them aren't though either. The biggest thing is actually the obi prices and the kimono prices have gone up significantly since I was an exchange student. Now I understand, I was an exchange student. Oh my goodness, I just added the years up, but it's 13 years now. I was there 2009, 2010. All right. Which means that my husband and I met in class 14 years ago in like a few days, which is insane. All right, let's not get into, I guess, the existential crisis moment of that for a little bit. Anyway, Kita no Tenmangu is it's about a 40-minute bus ride from Kyoto Station. Kyoto, it was the easiest way to get up there. And then this clip is actually after I was finished at Kita no Tenmangu and I was going down to Nomura Taylor. Funny story about that. I don't think I've told this yet, but I was not intending to purchase kimono and obi when I was in Japan. I was going to Kita no Tenmangu just to pick up charms from Natsumi. I was not supposed to buy obi and kimono, but what ended up happening is I carried my trekking backpack, and thank goodness I did, because of course I ended up buying kimono and obi. My backpack was actually full, so you can kind of see it in that clip. I was really lucky getting on the bus from Kitano because it was a really busy bus. It must have been because of the flea market. But it was a really busy bus from Kyoto Station to Kitano Tenmangu, and I think I was really lucky. But I was able to get, like, there's a place in front of a seat on the bus, and I stole it and put my backpack there because it was heavy. It was already 32 pounds. Yes, I'm used to carrying my kids around, but honestly, carrying a backpack around is a lot different. And I had packed it full at this place. And so what ended up happening, actually, I was intending to use that backpack for Nomura Taylor to pack the fabrics in there and take them back to my hotel room because I had to get on a Shinkansen that night. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to pack them in the backpack, take them up to the hotel, transfer them into a suitcase so that I could use the backpack in Tokyo. And what ended up happening is I filled the backpack at the flea market, took the bus up to Nomura Taylor, and then I couldn't fit into Nomura Taylor with a full backpack. So I had to scramble to find a locker in the closest subway station to actually, like, put this backpack in so I could fit into the fabric shop. Didn't have the correct change. Flagged a couple people down to find out if they had change. Like, I had a 500 yen coin, but the lockers only, so about a $5 coin, but the lockers only took, like, basically $1 coins, 100 yen coins, and I was short one. So annoying. So I had the backpack loaded in, flagged a couple people down. No one had any change. Took the backpack out, and of course this is a 32-pound trekking backpack. It is full. So it's really hard to even get in and out of the locker. And went up to the convenience store, got change, and then went back and put it back into the exact same locker because it was still available, thankfully. Didn't have to, like, look for another locker. But yes, and then I went around and I counted how many fabrics I was going to pick up at Nomura Taylor and realized I wasn't going to even be able to physically carry these fabrics home or back to the hotel without some sort of bag, because I couldn't front carry them. And thank goodness I didn't. So, because it turns out that I ended up purchasing about 85 pounds worth of fabric at Nomura Taylor. There's no way that the 85 pounds would even fit into that backpack. I think the max I can fit into that backpack, that's cotton linen blend, is 75 pounds. That is actually its physical limit. This time the physical limit was 50 pounds exactly because of the kimono. And obi, they're quite significantly heavier because, of course, they're like 3 layers for the obi, and all the kimono are at least 2 layers because there's the outer layer, the actual, like, nice layer, and then there's the interior layer because they're all lined. And all the obi have the exterior, obviously gorgeous layer, interior layer that actually goes against, like, your body, and then interfacing in it. And so that's why I like working with them, is because I end up actually using all the bits and pieces typically of them. Anyway, long story long, we're going to continue. I went back from Nomura Taylor after I counted all those fabrics, and then I took the backpack out and I actually took the subway up to Kyoto Station. I don't have video of that. I don't know why I didn't take video of it, but it's a funny story to tell now. And then I picked up my suitcase from the hotel, went and stored everything else because, of course, I already had a full bag. Yeah, okay, I had the full backpack, and then I had a small rolly case and my other, like, travel backpack, which is, like, it carries, like, it's my carry-on, that isn't filled with clothes and, like, not accessories, toiletries, and all of that. So, yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. But anyway, this bus ride that you're going to see now is me going from Kitano Tenmangu with a full backpack to Nomura Taylor, which leads into that whole subway story, and going and getting my bags from the hotel to transport fabric from Nomura Taylor. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, so the next few clips are of the JR line in Tokyo. I would say the JR pass is actually the most useful in Tokyo. Besides the bullet trains from like traveling the length of the country, I would say that the JR pass is the most useful when you're just doing Tokyo, or if and when you're in Tokyo, because most of the lines that I end up using in Tokyo are JR lines. Now, there's the Tokyo Metro line, there's the Tokyo monorail, there's a few other train lines as well, but when I'm traveling to get to like the fabric town for fabric and everything in Tokyo, the JR line is what I use. So these clips are of the Yamanote line. They're all color coded. So the Yamanote line is the lime green line in Tokyo, and it's clips of me traveling from Akihabara to Nippori fabric town, textile town, as well as the train. I think I've written down what it's for, but it's Harajuku at night and Harajuku at day for sure. And they're all the Yamanote line, so enjoy.
The next station is Okachimachi. JY4. The doors on the left side will open. Please change your for the Oedo subway line.
Your attention please. The train bound for Shibuya and Shinagawa will soon arrive on track number 1. For your safety, please stand behind the yellow line. この電車は渋谷恵比寿目黒
Alright, so we have two more clips. I'm not going to come back in between those two clips. I'll just do the spiel now. The first clip is of me getting actually a same-day reservation on the next with the JR Pass. They've made some major improvements to the JR Pass system since my last trip, so in the last 4.5 years. And I think the main reason that they did one of these big upgrades was because of the Olympics that were supposed to occur in 2020. But the really cool part of it is basically what they've done is they've given you a JR Pass with a QR code. Now, if you've been to Japan in the past, I'm sure, and you've had a JR Pass, you probably know what I'm talking about. But because I have a feeling most of you haven't been to Japan, I'll explain. So when you purchased a JR Pass in the past, they would give you like a little pamphlet booklet, basically. It was a little bit larger than a passport. It had your JR Pass in it, taped down with your passport information on it. And every single time you want to board a JR train or a bullet train or anything, you would have to pull your passport out, pull your JR Pass out, and show it to the ticket gate. And this, in high tourist traffic areas, was nuts. It's absolutely insane sometimes trying to get through some of these station gates. Like at Kyoto Station, which you saw earlier in the video, like those central gates, you would have to go visit the ticket person to get through those gates to get onto any of the JR lines in there. Like it was insane there. And even when my husband and I last went, we were like, there has to be a better way to do this. So they've done it. Now there's some improvements I still think that they could do just to make the ticket sturdier. But at this point, it is so much better. So what they've done is they've given you a bullet train ticket style ticket, the little green ticket that you see in this video, and they've put a QR code on it. So now you can actually put it through the ticket gate and you don't have to see anyone. Now you still have to carry your passport and all of that, I'm sure, because it is linked to your passport. I'm sure if they QR code scan it on the train, if you're not like in the proper seat or something like that on the Shinkansen, then it would end up tagging the like your passport number and stuff like that, and then they'll double check it against the passport, blah blah blah. So if you're getting on the trains, make sure that you are getting on the correct train with the correct seat and all of that. But what ended up what was I going to say? I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, you just scan the QR code now and then it goes through the little ticket gate. So much better. I didn't have to wait anywhere. Like, it was just such a good improvement. Pretty sure it was something that they had been working on for the Olympics, of course, in 2020. And it just, because I can't imagine if they had had the influx of tourists that they were very likely expecting and rightfully expecting for the Olympics, I can't imagine how a JR Pass, having to show your JR Pass and passport physically at every single train station, was going to work. So this is a major improvement. The only thing I could see them actually improving, especially for the 3-week passes, because of course it starts to get kind of raggedy because it's going through machines all the time when you're actually going into the train, that it could end up being destroyed. So they could do a little bit better, maybe give you like a tap card or something like that, one of the like one of the hotel cards. But overall, so much more of an improvement. Anyway, again, long story long, this is me getting the next ticket at the Narita Express ticket machine in Narita Station. I did actually miss this train, so lesson learned for next time. The following clip, the night clip, I have muted because I was hanging out with friends and our conversation is not something that I really want to post to the internet. It's nothing bad. It's just kind of annoying to listen to in the background for me. We were talking about Tokyo Disneyland and how they've updated some of their stuff too, which was really cool. But yeah, you don't really need to listen to it. So, but the shot of the train is absolutely gorgeous. This is in Shibuya at the I think it's Miyashita Park. They've like redeveloped a building top for this really cool park area. And if you look over the edge, there's all the train lines right behind Tower Records, which is really cool. So yeah, if you guys have any questions always about these videos, please feel free to get in touch with me. I am more than happy to answer them. I love talking about Japan, and I hope that you enjoy these videos too. This has been the transportation video, and I will be back next week with, I'm not 100% sure yet, because I was going to do a food video, and then I realized I only have 2.5 minutes worth of food videos. So you're either going to get an extremely short video, or I will figure something else out in the week, which I'm sure is what's going to happen. So thanks all, and I hope, well, Happy New Year. I hope you all have a fantastic 2023, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.
Please take your ticket. Thank